So many things are a scam now, and I've just become skeptical. Is Mother's Day, like really a lot of other holidays, a commercialized holiday to get you to spend money? Like, is it a...
Well, is that a scam to you? Because everyone knows about it.
Well, I don't know how Mother's Day started.
Yeah.
But what kept it going?
Tradition. Just like any other holiday. Why do we put a tree in our house in December?
You work in a grocery store. See any uptick in sales of any particular
A couple
items?
of things, yeah. A little bit of them chocolates, wine. Oh yeah. By the way, wine. Yeah. I was going to get to flowers and long stem roses, which are priced.
How much are those going for?
About $5 a rose, and I say $10 for the vase you get. We'll even throw in the bow, but the bow's really worthless.
$70 for 12.
And that's not including tax. Wow, when you really think about that, that's like, with today's gas prices, half a tank of gas or a dozen roses for mom or my wife.
Well, a whole tank of gas for most vehicles. Not if you
drive a big I mean, if you drive a truck, though, or a big SUV. But still, though, it's like, that's still a big decision. Anyway, people were making that decision for the flowers by far. But yeah, wine too. Like,
I think Mother's Day is a good day to let your mom know, you love her, you honor her.
And
whatever.
Get wasted on me. Here's a bottle of wine.
Yeah, apparently.
It's the first time since I've started working there where I've seen the wine aisle like depleted. It's awkward.
We used to have a rose bush at our house with like a pretty healthy one that was up some lattice up the side of the garage, and we would wear a rose pinned to our like shirt to church on Sunday morning.
Yeah. Kind of like you're going to prom or something. Well, I bet that was nice. I bet the pastor really liked that. He just looked out in the congregation and saw you boys with those roses. Like, those are my rose boys. Huh?
I've got a rose bush with one on it outside now. If it hasn't wilted, I didn't check, but like last week it was there. Yeah,
you called her Rosie. That's his one rose. Hopefully she's still around, but
Well, I got some Thompson's water seal on that rose bush by accident.
Now it's going to starve to death.
But no, that was 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
But it has practically killed it. But like it's a trooper, Rosie.
Yeah,
she's a trooper, and
good, resilient rose.
She's still blooming.
All right.
And I trimmed. Well, anyway, she's still there.
You trim her nice. Trim her bush back. Good.
Well, I used decking boards for this little fence, but even though those are like treated, like they needed double treated, the sun and stuff was still just tearing them up. There's a reason they make deck sealant, even though you get a treated board and put it down. Remember when we redid your steps and then we never sealed it with anything, but we just had the treated boards? How are those holding up?
Honestly, very well, very sturdy. Although since then I have put Thompson's water sealant on it when I was doing my mom's side porch, but I feel like we kind of strayed a bit from Mother's Day. Is this still Mother's Day? Is this part of the debriefing from the dossier entitled Mother's Day?
You'll never let me talk about my porch building.
That's secretly my agenda. It's like, how can I deviate away from this constructive talk? We'll wait for Father's Day. We'll do that for Father's Day.
But yeah, now some people, Mother's Day is a sore spot if they've got like childhood trauma leading back to their mother.
I never understood why people for the deceased every year make a big post or wear, and I'm not kidding, I saw this. Again, I see the public on a general basis with my job. My mother ain't here, but her love is. On a giant shirt, just obviously to wear on Mother's Day. Like, people make a big post, my mother died, she'd be 117 today. And it's like, I doubt she would.
I did see a lot of those posts.
Yeah. I think after when you get in a triple digit, stop with the centennial.
I talked to someone where her dad lost custody of her, and then her mom was kind of like, well, fuck this, I don't really want this kid either, and dropped her off at the fire station or orphanage.
Why do they drop them off at the fire station?
I was just joking about that because she was a little bit older, but she put her in the foster system or Baptist home system, and she bounced around a bunch. And
maybe the fire station would have been better.
Yeah, I think you got to be under 2, maybe under 1
Well, as long as you
There's
can
a
wear the
law.
helmet, I think you can. With
There's
the flame
a law.
Oh.
A baby, like you can drop a baby off at the fire station, no questions asked.
Yeah.
But they got to be under a certain age.
Yeah, you
and
can't do it with a 14-year-old who's just being a dick.
I'm not sure what the age is. I think that's in most states. I know it's in Texas and here where I've lived, but
I tell you, if I ever have a kid, I'm not telling them that and be like, yeah, they could be 16 years old. Like, one more time, and we're going by the fire department. I'm fucking serious, okay?
well, my kid's turning 3 years old, but due to the economy, we're not letting him know.
It two's
He's young,
just
they
going
don't
on.
know.
Exactly. They're not going to remember it till at least 4 or 5 anyway.
I don't actually have a kid, but I thought that was a good joke.
Yeah. Ha ha ha. Just a joke.
Yeah,
No real
we
kid.
would let. If I had a kid, I'd let him know it was his 3rd birthday.
If you had a kid, you wouldn't let him know that you were his father. Be like, yeah, I'm your uncle. Your dad ran away. Don't ask any more questions. And, when the door's closed, don't knock on it.
Anyway, Mother's Day, we got together with kind of my immediate family, and however far that it extended, it wasn't that far. We had about 8 people there.
What did you guys do? Like, just
Just ate lunch.
Oh, okay, like a
And I
home
thought-
cooked meal.
Yeah, but they were wanting to make sides. You can use the grill, but bring your own steak or whatever.
Right.
And I had some skewers.
Nice.
But Bill brought some Omaha Steaks pork.
Brother Bill, Omaha Steaks.
Bacon wrap pork tenderloins or something. They wound up being pretty good. They were super thick though. Those things were the size of a softball.
Well, that's
They
not
really
a bad
should've-
thing.
I know, but they need to cook slow. It probably would have been better like cut them in half and then grill them.
That really comes down to, you got to know what you're doing with stuff like that. You're right.
He did a pretty good job. I'm going to admit he does have experience with stuff like that because he used to buy a bunch of pork loin and that stuff was kind of thick sometimes. But these, I don't know what's in the tenderloin, but it was huge, man. And he cooked them thoroughly without the meat getting
Dried.
dry and
Yeah.
hard to chew.
Good. Well, Brother Bill and his brother Grills, Grillin' Billin'.
Grill.
Yeah, I feel like there's a name in that. We'll work on it later. But props to Bill. Way to grill, Brother Bill.
That's probably all I got on Mother's Day.
Well, yeah, that's good. Did you get your mom anything for Mother's Day? I got mine a dozen of purple tulips.
No, I'm ridiculously broke, and they know that, and I'm not making any excuse or anything. That back surgery was $27,000 out of pocket.
Well, okay.
So-
Well,
so
yeah.
they
But did you get, like, I don't know, to make a card or something?
Did not. Did not
Okay.
make a card.
Maybe next year.
Don't expect one. Don't expect a Christmas gift. I don't really expect anything.
Well, I mean,
it's not.
it doesn't have to be like something you buy. It's just got to be like.
It's not like I see her once a year.
Oh, that's true.
It's not like
Oh,
this was my chance to drive 3 hours to see her. I pretty much see her every
He
week.
had 2 connecting flights and a bus ride.
It'd be
And he
different.
was still late for dinner, and he had to hear about it through the whole meal. Ain't that some shit? Your brother was 45 minutes early. Yeah, that whole comparison bullshit. Your brother made these, Robert. Now, mine, I had
Did
to.
yours get a card?
She actually no, she's not much for cards. She doesn't realize that, but one thing I noticed she does with cards is that she just loses them or throws them away.
Did she get a dozen roses with a free bow and a...
No, she did not get that. She got a dozen tulips with some nice garnish that are actually starting to open up today. They look very nice. They'll probably be dead by the end of the week.
Yeah.
But yeah, that in a vase.
It's better than an orchid that hangs around and lives. And
Some girls dig orchids.
I know, but they burn my eyes. If there's one in a room and I'm in the room, it's like if you were allergic to a cat
Yeah,
and the cat was in the room, but this is an orchid.
Wow.
It like
burns your eye.
burns my eyes.
I think there's a sticker though with a warning like that. Like, don't look directly at the
the
orchid.
orchid.
Yeah, it's ornery. They don't like it when you look at them. But
So I'm suspicious what they're up to, putting off that essence that burns.
just hanging around like they're better than other flowers. They do
Other than
look
that,
cool
they're
though.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
about to say
I was
they
gonna
have a
give
cool.
them-
It's like a bonsai tree. There's a personality to it, and when you go into a kitchen or a house with an orchid, it's the same thing like a bonsai tree. You get a certain vibe that's not typical.
I looked this up one time. There's certain ones that can be super valuable because they only grow in a certain region. And like to keep those from exiting the region and being mass produced, they've like pulled all the stops to make sure they're the ones that have them. You'd have to look it up.
I will.
I think what they call mountain lilies are pretty valuable. Saffron is valuable because it's
oh fuck yeah. God, just a little bit of saffron is like that, and vanilla bean. People don't realize, like, if you have a certain quantity, you're kind of rich in the food culinary world.
If you Google most valuable flour, you won't be too shocked.
Marijuana. To a certain subculture, yes. But aside from that, continue.
You won't be too shocked because you know how like niche things are, and there's always someone that's way into it that's willing to pay up.
Yeah.
Like a Pokemon card. I think it's stupid, the what they've sold for. Yeah, that's the best. That's a good way of comparing it, like a Pokemon card. It's just cardboard and ink, yet depending on how that ink is laid out, it's worth millions. You know those card pulls where they're like all excited, or they act excited because they pull a Charizard or some bullshit?
I got a Nolan Ryan rookie card. Oh, fuck that. I got a Charizard.
We should do a fake card pull and pretend to pull, I don't know, a Donald Trump rookie card or something.
Well, this is back when he was like in military school or something.
Something that doesn't exist. I'd like it to be something people recognize, because if you pull young Indiana Jones, I don't think too many people are going to know who young Indiana Jones is.
Wasn't that River Phoenix in the series? I thought that, or like the made-for-TV movie. That was like some big actor.
It was a TV series.
Okay, it was okay.
Short run.
Yeah. I want to say there was a popular actor at the time who played...
if we pull Hamwater, I mean, no offense, people know who he is, but they're not going to comment or like because they don't want everyone to know that they know.
They know.
Or something like that.
You know what I mean? But anyway, my personal opinion on Mother's Day, kind of reeling back in here.
What if we pulled an Allstate financial advisor? Sorry for getting on a tangent. Continue on. William McKinney, friend of the show.
Yeah, Brother Bill, who knows how to grill, and probably will.
Hey, he can get SpaceX stock right now, kind of.
Well, I mean, like the IPO's coming.
No. He can get it now.
Yeah.
But it's part of a index fund, and SpaceX is only 7% of that fund. But it's got some other good stuff in there, so it's still like...
What sector is it? Is it like technology and shit? Because I'll be honest with you, I don't mind investing in technology, but I don't like having a fund as volatile as just on technology.
I know Berkshire Hathaway's in there, so there's some...
Okay, there's some stability.
Yeah, there's some stability. There's some other stuff, but I don't have it in front of me. But it's a hot seller. People were wanting that.
No, well, I mean, there's a lot of hype behind it.
Even though they can only get a 7% cut.
Dude, you got to understand, this is... It reminds me of the hype behind every meme coin that started coming out. People are like, oh, this is the next big thing, and you always have this high inflated rising price of an IPO, but unless you sell quick, more than likely it's going to nosedive because...
It probably is going to...
They call it correction, right?
Yeah, IPO is going to probably... moonshot, and then you...
Although I will say this,
might want to sell.
SpaceX will probably do pretty good for a while starting from the gate. It really comes down to like, okay, Tesla's moving away towards automotive. SpaceX is kind of like moving away from giving everyone internet. They're all going towards technology, working together. Basically what Elon Musk is trying to, whatever initiative he's trying to do, whether it's living on the moon or living on Mars or,
Musk came out this week and said, we've got however many satellites, 800, 8,000.
We got a lot of space trash.
We got a lot of satellites, and we haven't seen any aliens or anything that would suggest that there were any. That's at least his statement.
Yeah. Not to stray any further from the whole Mother's Day topic, but I truly believe that this universe is well beyond old enough to where there were aliens, but it was probably before humanity existed, or at least we're intelligent enough to notice them.
As vast as the universe is,
and as old,
there could be a lot of other life, and we may just never...
Yeah, we're just not in the timeline, There could have been Martians 5,000 billion years ago. Doesn't matter, though, because, the biggest mammal was the size of a rat at the time on Earth. Hey!
I don't believe in astrology, but some chick wanted me to do this thing that it looks at certain lines that like encompass the globe based on the exact time you were born, where you were born, some other stuff. And you know where all my lines, the epicenter were? Basically Greenland, basically -30, -60 Greenland.
Okay, I was going to guess Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Well, one went straight through Phoenix. We had a
really?
triple line cross in about Longview, Texas. Which
I wasn't that far then from you.
Which is interesting because I have looked at Longview potentially because it's kind of got that small town vibe, but still has some like major health systems and other industry.
I think you just need to go to the Nordic countries. You'll probably be doing backflips in less than a year with their health care and their costs.
Yeah, Norway is. I don't think they're going to let you in. I mean,
they might. I see them being easier to get along with.
They got free education, free health care.
I think it's kind of a pay-to-play kind of thing. You know, it's like...
Yeah, but we're about paying that in taxes here now. That's the crazy thing. We're going to be paying 50% in taxes and not getting
anything from it. So that's why people are bitter at the idea of taxes, when really taxes, in essence, depending on how they're managed and allocated, are a good thing. That's how a civilization survives. That's how hospitals and schools are built and roads are paved.
Anyway, I don't believe in astrology or signs or whatever, but still, it's like, you can go to Greenland if you really want to be where you're supposed to be.
Okay.
Or, Longview, Texas, it got some.
There's no invisible script. We all make it up as we go along, and in its own cataclysmic way, so does the universe.
Yeah, it's funny, I did better in Vegas than anywhere else, which...
Well, it is Vegas. That's not to say that you can only do better in Vegas.
But as far as that astrology thing was concerned, it totally missed Vegas, and so it's just a crock of shit.
Well, Vegas has a lot of opportunities that most other places don't. You got to look at it.
It's not just I could go out there and get a good job in the healthcare sector. Bro, I could get a good job in anything out there.
Yeah, their economy is that much bigger because of the tourism.
It's
Laws
more
are different.
Open if you are the guy that can do the job, you can get hired. If you have the skill, you can get hired. They're not as worried about that feather in your cap from school.
Although let's clarify, you do have to have some qualifications and experience, I'm sure.
You can get just through your network, get a job as a concierge or something. At a casino, and if you suck ass, you're out of there.
Yeah, something non-technical.
They're not going to give you a really long leash like a government job,
or like anything here for that matter.
But
there's one thing I've noticed in Staunton: people view work as an entitlement because no one gets fired anymore. It seems no one has a fear of loss of their job. If anything, they always threaten to quit without actually looking for another job. You notice that?
Yeah,
I feel like people who I've worked with that came from up north or out west kind of look at the South and it's just like, you guys really the standard I feel goes down a step or two because of that.
Yeah, but there's exceptions. Let me tell you how dirty one of the bosses at my work is. We had a lady that was out with some cancer treatment on FMLA, and they thought, well, she's a longtime employee and is probably coming back. They hired a temp and did not let her know that. They thought, we're hiring you're temp to hire at this job. And she was expecting to get the job and doing, I thought, a really good job. From what I could tell, I didn't check over her paperwork or whatever, but she had a good attitude, showed up on time, did her work, and it was a 90-day temp. So at 88 days, they told her, well, we're going to go with different direction.
Clean out your locker. You're out of here.
But the jackass boss said, but we could help you out with that 2 more days of work. If you want to come in for 2 more days, we could help you out with a little bit of work.
In other words, you doing your job for us and us paying you is helping you out more than
it's such a slap in the face. Like, she was hoping to get the job, and they're like, oh yeah, we technically have 2 more days we could hire you, and we're willing to let you work those days because just to help you out.
I like her optimism, but I've learned at a young age with my work history, you're pretty much a worker a company's whore when you're a temp.
When you're,
They'll pick you up and drop you just as quick. And until you're not a temp and you're actually hired on getting benefits, and then that's when you can lose that fear of loss. Okay, you're in. But until that moment, man, it doesn't matter how well of a job you're doing. It doesn't matter. It all comes down to money and how bad we need you.
Well, let me give you the update, the 4-year update or whatever.
Okay.
The lady with cancer wound up dying. So, it never came back to work. So
well, I hope not.
They've had a
death is a good reason.
They've had a string of full-time hires that were not temp to replace her, and they haven't worked out. So,
bad strategy in finding a productive worker.
Yeah.
But that's how workers have to realize that they're considered, whether they actually are or not, expendable. Until you realize that, you're not going to be in the same headspace as your boss. And if you're not in the same headspace, you're going to be let down and disappointed and frustrated a lot, I think. Because
you're always expendable and always replaceable, although the company may really miss you and run a lot worse now that you're gone. But most places, just out of spite, don't give a fuck.
They don't.
They're going to let you walk instead of giving you a raise.
Well, they look at the only measure of success isn't customer satisfaction or employee morale. It's how much money did you make. And until that perspective changes from the top, this is going to be the symptom of it. You're going to have a lot of productive people just slip through the cracks because of, hey, we just didn't need you at the time. Bye-bye.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that produce a lot of money for a company that never get recognized for it because they weren't at the level where that metric is measured.
Yeah.
They weren't in the bonus structure.
Or even worse, someone else took the credit.
Yeah.
Like their immediate boss, like, hey, you did really well. And it's just like, the boss ain't going to be like, well, Robert did all the heavy lifting. It's like, no, they're going to be like, well, thank you very much. They're going to soak all that shit in. And the only thing they'll give you is like, hey, Rob, really appreciate your help. Like, seriously? That's the best line you can give me?
So basically, you got a worker who builds a quality porch step and goes ahead and seals it with Thompson water seal immediately. And you got the next guy that just says, well, fuck it, the homeowner might get around to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like lazy, basically.
Or just, cutting corners. Maybe it's a budget thing. Like, well, if I save this water sealant for the next job, I wouldn't have to buy more.
Or sell them the job at a certain price point they'll go for, and then kind of sneak in through a text message a couple weeks later, well, you might want to seal it. After they've already spent their budget's already.
It's like, that'll cost you extra. That's I didn't do an estimate on that.
That's where they get you.
Let's see. I'm going to have to overbuy the material for this much, and then I'm going to have to inflate my actual hourly rate by this much. So.
Well, that's where we're at, and that's Mother's Day. I think
kinda. It was a little bit of Mother's Day. We started off with Mother's Day.
I think the streets are hungry for another political episode, and we might go there, but some sort of motivation is going to have to hit me.
Well, something's going to have to happen politically that's worth talking about because our old talking points are still relevant now. Nothing drastic has really changed. Although I will say this, I find it odd that the moment the Supreme Court immediately allows redistricting without a racial consideration, all the southeastern states immediately are considering withdrawing congressional maps out of season. It's like, oh my God, I guess their whole civil rights thing had a purpose after all. It's amazing. It's all those controversial states from the past.
Our local historian says, you know what? Probably we should just do county lines in population per county line. Maybe that's the most fair way.
Better yet, how about this? How about a percentage of the population? It doesn't matter where they live. I don't want to make this a war of the addresses. I want to make this equal representation of Americans equally because, I don't know, it shouldn't matter if I live in this county or that county. How much my vote should count.
Well, this isn't super political as far as war is concerned. That's what I really mean. I think the streets want a war update.
Oh, okay. Well, we're still in a ceasefire.
Kinda, or whatever.
Yeah.
But the economical political thing that's coming down the pipes, certain percentage of people can't pay their credit debt no matter what, their credit card debt, and so their full-time job is covering 80% of their bills. Apparently, that's a pretty big chunk of the population. There's some stats out. But when we're really going to see a shift, when we're actually going to see something change, is when half the white-collar workforce gets cut. And that's coming no matter what happens at the Strait of Hormuz. I think half the white-collar jobs are going to get cut. And these people don't have the drive or skill to roof a house. Like, they don't want to do that. And I'm not sure where they'll turn, because replacing their income basically is going to be impossible. Some will replace it, but like so many just will not be able to replace that income.
Well, the thing I'm wondering about too, a lot of people fall back with supplemental income options, like,
but there's a lot of defaults when I was talking about happens, because those $120,000 a year jobs, and now you're making $45,000, you're losing your car or something. There's a lot of defaults, whatever they are.
Yeah.
And so that's the crisis to me that's looming.
I think of it like this: with more and more, automation coming into the workforce, and jobs like that be essentially replaced first. What are people going to do if they're lucky enough to still have a job that automation didn't replace or downsize, yet they can't find? It's kind of like a rock and a hard place. They can't find supplemental income that they once depended on to make those ends meet. Like an extra $20,000 a year could mean we have a second
that
car
can make all the
not.
difference.
Yeah.
That can make all the difference.
Exactly.
Progress or going backwards.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff like that, or you kind of stagnate in your job or career because the workers are so hungry to replace the job that your employer just says, nah, we're just gonna basically salary freeze, and that's it, because we can get away with it.
Because again, success to us is only measured by how much money we and our shareholders make.
Mm-hmm.
How much revenue the company makes after overhead. And that's a shame, because I feel like if they put not all the emphasis on employee morale or higher pay or customer satisfaction, but just like if they put it equally, like divide it up into threes, 33% profit motive, 33% morale, 33% customer satisfaction. Boom! I think that would be a good. That definitely be good PR for a company. That'd be a good image branding. I could see that leading to a lot of profitability. But right now, it's all cutthroat. And it's about, hey, if we can't merge with you, we're going to cut our costs to beat your price, and we don't care how many people we got to lay off, how many things we got to automate. Or what, really? Business is war, and there ain't no ceasefire.
You get just as good of a result, I think, if you treat people better. Maybe,
Fuck yeah.
And you could say, well, that's just a candy-coated statement. I don't know. If the person wants to be there
exactly.
and wants to work, you get better work.
You do, and they're more productive because they take pride in what they do. They take what's called ownership. Like a guy at my job, he's a freezer guy. Why does he call himself a freezer guy? Because he owns the freezer. All the inventory in the freezer, all the merchandise in the freezer floor. It's like he takes pride in it. He keeps up with it. It's something that, okay. And the freezer's better off with that instead of having a revolving door of people not taking ownership.
I've got a Mother's Day tie-in.
Oh my God, we're going to talk about that again.
It's like I said before, your parenting style. If they want to get an A on their test because they're really afraid of punishment, versus they respect you to the if your kid buys into your brand and is comfortable within that, you're going to have a better end result if they want to basically impress you, but not out of fear. Like, they want to do a good job because they feel like you are guiding them in the right direction and you are their friend.
Instead of it's out of fear of loss, like, fight or flight response. Like, oh my God, I better do this or else.
I'm losing my tablet, whatever, or getting my ass beat.
You don't feel like you're on a trap door ready to be pulled. Here.
No TV, no McDonald's, no pizza, no nothing. Yeah, I mean,
I want my pizza from McDonald's while I watch TV.
It's like a boss, though. I mean, you can be an angry boss, or you can be a cool boss.
No, you can either be a leader or you can be a boss. Do you want to delegate from behind a desk, or do you want to lead by example? Boom. Mic drop.
Anyway, lead by example is better.
Fuck yeah, man. Because people are, one thing I've learned as a manager, the best managers are the glue. They're the tie that binds the whole shift. Someone calls out, I got to take their spot and do my bullshit. Once the guys see me do that, then they kind of want to help me out, take on more. It's like they see, their leader, their manager, whatever, busting ass. They kind of, it persuades the culture like, well, shit, I better pull my weight. I don't want to be the lazy guy.
You want good company culture. And HR departments now kind of virtue signal that they want it. They know it's a thing that would, that'd be great if we had that. Let's just pretend we're really worried about it. And they really don't give a fuck. They put out a newsletter and spin it to act like, man, things are really good, but it's not. And they know it's not. And they're not worried about it. And it's not on their agenda. It's just virtue signaling. And that sucks.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Oh, wait, that was yesterday.
I'm good with that, I think.
Honestly, yeah, I think it ties it up pretty well.
It's just thought-provoking stuff. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, just to actually bring it back to Mother's Day like we began it and then kind of straight a bit, to say the least. I don't necessarily view it as a scam. It's just another holiday where you got to stop and smell the roses. Thank your mom. She went through a lot. Even if she's a bad mother, if you like any bit of your life at all, you owe it to her.
Always a holiday, though.
Well, I mean...
Hey, guess what? Today's a state holiday.
Yeah.
It's, what is it?
Well, it's always a national something day.
There's always something.
It's National Cheeseburger Day, too. Everybody gets a free cheeseburger between 4 and 6 at whatever. It's like, okay. But I mean, like, as far as, like, nationally recognized through our culture, it's nice. Dads don't get the same kind of recognition. By the way, a little trivia. What's the biggest day in the food service industry for restaurants?
I really don't know. I'm not going to say Thanksgiving.
Mother's Day.
Okay. That's cool.
That seems kind of obvious now, considering the episode.
The ones that are open.
What's that?
Yeah.
Oh, Mother's Day? Oh, God. Well, I mean, it's not like the holiday that's traditionally like Walmarts and things like that are closed. But I mean, it's the biggest day.
Okay, I'm going to guess Mother's Day.
Okay, you're correct. Yeah, it's the biggest day for, like, I guess, like the sit-down restaurants. I imagine Applebee's gets a lot of foot traffic. Hey, Mom, let's go to Applebee's. I'll buy you those sizzling fajitas you like.
Beats a card.
I mean, if they're a card person, it's the way to go. But a lot of people think they're a card person. They're really not. They don't display them. They don't even keep them half the time. It's something you find as an afterthought in a junk drawer. By the way, if you're thinking about it, I'm not a card person either. So you don't have to. If it needs to be said, I just said it.
Happy
Mother's Day.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, guys.